Okie dokie. So I am recording. Hello, everybody. How are you all feeling, actually? Not that you know that I've just told you to mute yourselves. I was actually really looking forward to this call. I think it's really important that we stay connected as a team at the moment and sort of get to check in with each other and see each other. So if you do want to chat, like, this is pretty informal compared to our normal, ones that we do with the nation. So do feel free to unmute yourself and jump in if you've got questions or anything like that along the way. I am really excited. Like, I guess at the moment, things are changing so quickly. Every day we're getting new information, and, like today, it's like now we're homeschooling, and there's just so much, I guess, going on. That's why I thought if we have this call on a Thursday, for the time being, we can kind of just check in with each other and just keep up to date and make sure that we're running our businesses the best way possible, given whatever, circumstances we're in and things like that. So, I'm really excited to have this call because, I get to see all you guys as well. Excuse me. There's a couple of things that I want to go over with you guys. So I'm going to get the housekeeping out of the way first. Now, this is something that we used to talk about all the time when, before Danielle went nation. It was when we were under Felicia's nation, and we don't actually really discuss it that much anymore. So I don't even know if any of you sort of have heard of these things. But if you have, I'm just sort of reinforcing it. So the first thing is we actually never discuss with other consultants what our QV is. And I don't know whether you're aware of that or not. It's just actually not something that we do. We don't tell people our numbers. Obviously, when people bonus, it becomes aware in general where they sit, but we don't usually let people know what our QV is or ask someone what their QV is. The reason that we don't do that is because it can actually really trigger someone with comparison, and you might not even mean to. Like, it can be a completely innocent thing, but you can really affect someone's mindset and really affect their business. So, someone else's like shit month can be someone else's great month. Do you know what I mean? And if you're sitting there going, oh my God, I've had such a bad month, like I only hit 8,000, like fuck, rah, rah, rah. The other person could have just bonused on 5,000 and been like, yes, kicking goals, which they absolutely could be. Then they hear you and think, shit, okay, maybe I'm not doing so well. Maybe I'm not very good at this business. Maybe they start doubting themselves and all of that kind of stuff. And the other thing is, we all work our businesses differently at different times, and one person could be going, it ebbs and flows, and someone could be riding a wave and you're watching them and thinking, nah, I can't do this business. Like, do you know what I mean? They're like, oh my God, I've just hit 14,000. You're going, oh my God, I'm on 2, So we just don't talk numbers. We know when people are doing well and all that kind of stuff. We can tell when people are really kicking goals, but we just don't go over the figures because it can really put someone out of the game. And like I said, you could do it to someone unintentionally. You could do it to someone in your own team. So we just don't talk numbers, and we don't share other people's numbers either if we do know them. So that's just a real, like I said, I just don't think it's something that we really talk about very often. And also, like, your goal can change. When you join the business, 2,500, you think, shit, that's massive. How am I going to do 2,500 every month? When you're an area manager, how am I going to do 10, 2.5 those? It's like so easy. And then when you get to region, you're like, 10,000 is nothing. You know what I mean? But it changes all the time. So everyone has a different journey. So just please be mindful that you can really take someone out of the game, and it could be a friend, and you don't want to do that to someone. So we just don't want to talk about QV in that way and sharing it. So the other thing I wanted to touch on as well is I don't know if you guys have heard this, you always, if you've got a problem or a complaint, go up. You only ever breed faith and belief when you're going down to your downline. So if you've got an issue with something, you don't talk to your sideline, even if you're friends, you go to your upline, because your upline is the one that has the belief and can fix it. You don't talk to your friend, you don't go down. You breed belief. Nothing, that's your downline, your sidelines. You want to lift them up. If you're having a bad day, if you're having a shitty time, if, customer service, just, you got the biggest asshole in the world, or something went wrong with the return or anything like that, you go to your upline. So whether it's Britt, myself, Ali, whoever, and you go, oh my God, you get it off your chest, and then you move on. Okay. You don't go down to your downline or to your friends who are clients. And I've got a classic example of this because I did it. So I'll tell you, I had a beautiful client, well, she's still a client, but a beautiful client called Andrea. And I used to personal train her. When I first joined the business, I didn't think it was going to be massive. I was doing it alongside my PT. My PT was my main gig. I hated putting in orders. So for anyone knows me, you know, I don't like sitting on computers. It's not my jam. I hate entering shit. I don't sit around and play creatively. So anyway, putting in the orders for me was a form of torture. My internet was so slow. Sometimes I would have to go sit over at my local park to put them in. So you can imagine, like, oh my God, it was a nightmare. Danielle sat here with me for like 2.5 hours one time. Anyway, so I was bitching and moaning to this client, like, seriously, the fucking orders, excuse my language, but the orders take me hours to put in. Like, I'm going on and on, like when I'm training her. Anyway, a couple of months later, Danielle's like, you should really ask Andrea to look at the business. And I was like, there's no way she's joining my business. I've done nothing but bitch and moan about putting orders in. She's hardly going to look at me and go, Jesus, I want to do what she's doing. So big lesson learned. Andrea was never going to look at my business because I made it very unappealing. Clearly, the issue was mine, and it was my internet, and I was learning, and I was, you know, having a hard time because learning orders and stuff just was not my jam. But, you know, I projected it was so awful. I mean, look at me now. I freaking love Arbonne, but her impression of it was not amazing from the business point of view. So just be really aware of what you are telling other people and the image you are giving, whether or not you're having a shit time, you know, processing something or whatever it may be, you know, months down the track, that person has still got that impression of Arbonne. So yeah, just be aware of that. It was a big learning curve for me, and it's also within your team and as you grow a team. And if you've got a question about something, you know, that you're not sure on, or something you think that could be kind of negative or whatever, say it privately to your upline. Don't put it in a group forum, because you can trigger doubt in other people, and we don't want to do that. So we know that this business is 95% mindset. So you really, you know, we don't want to create that. You always, if you've got an issue, just speak to your upline directly and resolve it that way. So that's just a couple of little housekeeping things, which we used to sort of go over quite a bit, but we don't really talk about it as much now. Learn from my mistakes. Okay, so what else have I got here? Right. So the other thing I want to touch on briefly, I don't know about you guys, I personally feel like things are I feel like things are not getting better. I feel like we're adapting to the current situation. I feel like when everything that's going on around us first came out, it was, you know, and all of that, and it was just pretty hectic. I feel like we are adapting. I don't really look twice if I see someone with a mask in the shops now. Like, it's, you know what I mean? We do adapt quite quickly. It's certainly not a great situation, but I do feel like the initial panic has kind of gone. Maybe that's just me though. I am working a lot to not be part of the panic, because I just don't want to buy into all of that. I'm just being smart and sort of removing myself. So I don't know if it's just me, but I do feel like we're adapting, like we're homeschooling and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, and we're kind of expecting a lockdown or whatever. So, but people are a little bit uncertain, and they are, when they're talking to us, like, we need to be the belief and the light. We need to be showing them it's business as usual. We're carrying on as usual. You know, Britt's going to touch on some amazing sort of facts and figures and whatnot, you know, shortly, but it's okay to be scared. Like, it is a scary time, and everything that's been going on, it, you know, it does make you feel really uncertain, but that's why we're here to pour belief into you. Like, from a company point of view, like, we are so strong. Our growth is strong. The product warehouse, like, we can last, even if they had to stop production, which they won't have to, we've got enough stock to last us for 4 to 6 months, even if we had to stop. Do you know what I mean? So from a business point of view, we are actually, you know, we're in a really, really good position. So please don't worry about that. But, you know, just be aware of where you're at in your mind. Self-awareness is really, really powerful. So if you feel yourself slipping and starting to panic or have doubts or anything like that, plug into some personal development. Listen to Victoria McHugh's SoundCloud again, because it was absolutely amazing. If you haven't listened to it, I really, really want you to go and listen to it. And you really need to shift your mindset so that you are being positive. And that's what you're breathing over your clients as well, because they're looking to us. You know, people are watching your behavior and they're watching how you're handling yourself. Personally, I would get off mainstream news. I would not be watching it. If we go into lockdown, you're going to find out about it. You don't need to be watching every news article. There's a lot of sensationalism out there. There are some, you know, great sources that where you can just get facts, but I just wouldn't be watching mainstream news. And just be careful of your scrolling as well, because I know even for me, there's the fitness network. I was getting caught up in that because even just me thinking how ridiculous people are, but I was still getting caught up in it. I was still looking at the comments going, oh my God, these people are so stupid. But meanwhile, I was getting angry and, you know, thinking about how dumb everyone is and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then that's still me getting upset by it, even though I wasn't like, I didn't believe everything. I was just still getting upset at people's mentalities, and that was ruining my energy. So I'm like, no, Sarah, just don't even look at it. Like, there's nothing good to come out of it. We're in the situation that we are in. People are going to react how they're going to react. The only thing we can control is how we react. And, you know, like I said, we are in such a good position. We are really, 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 really lucky. So personally, I am ignoring the scrolling. I've noticed a shift in Facebook though. People are looking for positivity and things like that. So people are starting to really, like, if I see anything about the virus, I just flick, and I'm only really going for anything positive. And the other thing is, you know, our outside surroundings, the negativity has really, I think you would agree, it's been 10x, right? Wouldn't you say, all of a sudden, with all the negative news and people's reactions? So everything that, you know, we would usually see, it's just been 10x all the negativity. So what we need to do with our positivity, our personal development, we need to 10x that to counteract it, because we already knew just with our general day-to-day life, we needed to plug into personal development to stay positive. We needed to be reading and we needed to be growing ourselves. And all of a sudden, it's been magnified. So you need to magnify what you are doing to stay positive. I am always happy. I'm always positive. But even I've had to, you know, find moments where I'm like, oh my God, catch myself, plug in, read a book, put on a SoundCloud. So I'm really focusing on listening to things and staying positive. And I've listened to Vic McHugh's SoundCloud, like I'm actually just crushing on her at the moment. I go through like waves, but just, yeah, at the moment I'm just like, yeah, she's just bang on the money with everything. And she's just, yeah, she's really got exactly what I think everybody needs at the moment. So yeah, don't get caught up in comments, blah, blah, blah. And it's okay to be in a bubble. You don't need to know every single thing the minute it comes out. It's okay to be in a bubble. I spoke to Rory tonight and I said something. He goes, I've been not listening to anything for days. He goes, it's been fantastic. Doesn't have a clue. Living his best life. I said, well, I kind of need to be on top of things for school and stuff, but you know, you don't need to be on top of every single news report. You will know what is going on. Trust me. Doesn't matter whether your hairdresser's open for 30 minutes or an hour. Okay. The news is going to travel back to you, whether or not you're sitting on Channel 9, watching that every second that it comes out. So the other thing is, you know, we do focus on the negative quite a bit. And yes, there are people that are losing jobs, but there are other people who are really, really, really busy. So one of my other clients who works at Coles, and she was sort of struggling to get shifts, she's now snowed under. She has got more work than she could possibly hope to have. And they're looking to hire, you know, Woolies, Coles, Amazon, all of those places, you know. So, you know, we do love to hear a good story. And, you know, my heart does go out to so many people. Obviously, I know a lot of people in the fitness network, you know, that are having tough times, but there are a lot of other places that are thriving as well. Let's not forget that. So there are still people with money who are looking for healthy products. And again, I'm not going to take over what Britt's going to talk about, but some industries will suffer, but some industries will absolutely thrive. We are in an industry that is going to absolutely thrive. And I don't want that to sound ugly. It's a fact. It's just a fact. It's just how it is. We are lucky with what we do. We are in an industry that will boom through the, you know, the current crisis that is happening. So yeah, like I said, don't want that to sound awful, but it is what it is. So that's all I really want to say on that. What I do want to let you guys know is that given everything that is happening, we do have a daily method of operation Zoom call that will be starting tomorrow. It's going to be, I think it'll be on, I'm still waiting for confirmation on the time, but I think we're actually going to go with 11 a.m. our time. So it's 4 p.m. New Zealand time. And basically what that's going to be, it's going to be a 30-minute Zoom. It's optional. It is not, you don't have to jump on. I think it's going to be held under Samara's Zoom number. But basically, we're just going to create a 30-minute time slot where we all jump on and do our activity together so that it gets done, because it is hectic. We've all got busy schedules, homeschooling, all that kind of stuff. So it'll either be at 10 or 11. We haven't decided just yet, but I will let you know. And for that 30 minutes, we all jump on, we all go on mute. We send out our asks for the 30 days. We send out our business asks. We do our follow-ups with our clients and all of that kind of stuff. So you just sit here muted and we can all see each other working. That we're doing that with the whole nation, so that everyone in the nation is going to jump on if you can. If you can't, you don't have to. Like I said, it is just a tool that will be there for you, and it will just be nice to see everyone and give you that, I guess, that consistency in your day. 30 minutes to run your business, you know, that's pretty much, you know, to book in your Zooms, to book in your whatever it is that you need to be doing. So I personally love that because it will keep me accountable. I have to say, I feel like when we were doing those 30 asks, I got so busy just talking to people about business and everything, and it really did pick things up for me. So yeah, I love that. So I will confirm the time. It starts tomorrow. It's going to be a continuous thing, so just jump in when you can. Don't forget, we've got the skincare workshop on Sunday at 4 p.m. And starting next week, Britt and I are going to be doing the live half-hour workouts at 9:30 a.m. on this Zoom ID. So if you want to come and get your fitness on, you can come and do some workouts with me and Miss Britt. And yeah, we're going to pop those in the 30 days to healthy living as well. So let me just have a quick look if there was anything else. I think that's it. I am going to stop talking because Miss Britt has got some amazing things to share with you, and I think you're really going to enjoy what she has to say. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Miss Britt. Unmute.
Nearly start talking without unmuting myself. Hi everyone, good to see you. Okay, so I have gone back through a lot of my old, I don't know, kind of rejigged my uni day studying, and I had such a busy day because I went and did a little boot campy step thing at Coburn Arc and videoed that, and then I went and cleaned one of my gyms. Oh my God, that was a workout and a half for 4 hours, and literally just got home before school pickup and then sort of went into studying. Now, we all know that this little baby here, of course, we're not saying anything you don't know, but this comes free with the protein at the moment. And I'm just going to, I know Sarah did a good little video the other week, earlier this week, that sort of went through the immunity and stuff, but it was really, really quick. And I just want to go through it a little bit more so that you guys have a little bit more information and have a bit more credibility when you're selling the 30 days or our nutrition products. So basically with your immunity, there's a few things that I might just go back a bit further than that. I've got some notes. I'm trying to make it is really complex, so I'm just trying to kind of give you the best of the information without getting too technical on you. So our immune system is 100% there to fight off pathogens, disease, foreign substances, bacteria, and viruses, okay? And we have three main barriers for any of those pathogens that get into our body. The first one is our skin. So it's great that we have anti-pollutants and stuff in some of our products, but the main ways are mucus linings, and they're found in our gut and our airways, okay? And this is very relevant with what's going on at the moment with, in particular, viruses. Now, viruses, just so you know, like, I think in a liter, like there is so many viruses in the world, like it's crazy. I think I read today that in 1 litre of ocean seawater, there's like 1 billion viruses in there. So viruses is just the name for the protein, for the structure, okay, of what they are. So there's lots and lots of different viruses, and they don't all affect us because obviously we can swallow ocean water and live to tell the tale. So mucus linings and our gut, mucus linings in our gut are like one of the first defense mechanisms. So if someone sneezes on you at the moment, and you would breathe that and it goes into your mouth, and it, you know, is either killed off in your stomach or, you know, unfortunately can get down into your trachea and stuff like that and into your lungs. The other way is when your body detects a virus or pathogen or disease, it puts forward an inflammatory response. So I don't know, you've probably seen in the media at the moment, or, you know, little advice sheets that come out that says if you can get your body to around, viruses can die around 27 degrees Celsius, like if they're outside of your body. So, you know, at the moment, one of the good recommendations to go get vitamin D, and we'll talk about that, is just literally getting in the sun. If you've got something that you can't wipe down, you put it in the sun. So inflammation basically heats up the area and tries to kill off the virus or the pathogen or the bacteria or whatever that way. So that is your body's defense mechanism. We also, as part of that, have our microbiome, and we talk about this a lot. And your, you know, healthy gut, those microbiome are so important. And basically what your microbiome does, we want them to flourish, because when they flourish, they use up all the food that a virus or a bacteria or pathogen may well also use, and they multiply massively and kind of stamp out the breathing space, the room for those other you know, pathogens. So they make it very hard for other pathogens to flourish, which is why we want our gut health, our bacteria, to be multiplying their little hearts out, gobbling up all the food and not making room for these invaders. So other parts of our defense system, we have our body makes acid to kill the pathogens. So in our stomach is obviously quite an acidic environment. I mean, there, you know, vitamin C is ascorbic acid, is a acid, and so is apple cider vinegar for that matter. So those things can mildly assist. We'll talk about vitamin C a little bit more. Our body can secrete poisons, and not poison to us, but poisons in the form of chemicals and hormones. It can send out free radicals. I won't get into this bit too much, but also enzymes that can break down and kill the pathogen. And finally, white blood cells make mucus, and what that does is they create inflammation, they trap, and they actually kill the pathogen. So we want our white blood cell counts up, and this is all important because we want our mineral and vitamin states in order. Now, obviously, you're not going to go into this much detail with a client. You are going to start talking about gut health again, because we just talked about how they, you know, multiply and flourish is one of the defense systems. We're also going to talk about inflammation with them, because we know that one of our body puts a lot of energy into creating inflammation to kill off pathogens. So we don't want our body dealing with a lot of inflammation in our normal lives. We want to save that inflammation that is directed for the times when our bodies need it. Let me just go through a little bit more here. Oh, so interesting, but you know, you might not find it as interesting as me. Just give me a second. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything that's vitally important for you guys, because I've got like tons of notes here.
Nutrition nerd.
I know, right? So just find it fascinating. So basically, when the problem is with viruses, and again, I'm not a virologist or anything like that, but they're sneaky little buggers. They really are. So they actually have their own defense system as well. So even though our bodies have the white blood cells, and they have things called T cells and B cells, and we won't go into those, lymphocytes, and all sort of quite a pronged attack. And I've talked about even apple cider vinegar being able to speed up one of the processes where they kind of encapsulate and pin down the viruses. Because what viruses do, they basically try and get into your normal body cell. So you've got cells in your body, they try and get in through your bloodstream, pierce through the lining, or in this case, your lungs, and they take over. In the little middle, there's a thing called a nucleus, and they've got like a photocopier machine, right? And because the virus doesn't have their own one, so they try and sneak in. They can come in, like they can put themselves in different forms so your immune system doesn't see them properly. Like, as I said, they're really sneaky. They can, hide in calcium deposits. They can mimic your body's own tissue, and they try and get into your cell, and they burrow in, and they get right in the middle into our own cell's reproductive system, and they take that over because they don't have their own reproductive system, and they use that to multiply. And that's where the issue comes in. So when they multiply a lot in your lungs, for example, you know, that basically brings on pneumonia because they're quite restricted and all that. So it's really, really fascinating. But this bit's not going to help your clients so much as this part coming up. So things that can strengthen your immune system, okay? And then there's things that can weaken it. One of the biggest things for weakening your immune system aside from nutritional deficiencies and that, because we'll look at those in the strengthening side, but stress. So at the moment, everyone's sitting in front of their TV, like stressed out. Some people, suffer from anxiety. They're not sleeping well. And all of that is such a cyclical thing from putting your body in a state of stress and therefore making it more prone to lack of immunity or poor immunity, okay? So when we have stress going on, and as I said, low sleep, our body's in a state of panic, it's in a state of fight or flight kind of response, and it's not calm and being able to put in its normal, immune responses very well. So one thing, again, Sarah touched on being beacons of light and being rays of positivity. It is really important. Like, we are leaders in the health and wellness industry, and we need to make sure that we are radiating that forward, like just the little things Sarah and I have been doing, and I'm not across all your social media, so you might have as well, but talking about things like, name 3 things you're grateful for today, write them down, or, a couple of us have been on walks lately, Ali had that beautiful picture, well done to you, that was a ripper, Ali. Just pictures of beauty in the world, or if you see something nice, I know just even in my local community, Vic Park, like the strip is just so kind and generous and just doing such amazing things. So trying to share that love, it really makes an impact like on your mental state and therefore your immunity. If you get low in nutrients, your immune system is smashed. There's a few key ingredients, we'll talk about those in a minute, that are critical for your immune system. And the reality of it is in today's society, most people are low in minerals. Most people don't even remotely have the required amount of fruit and veggies in their diet. Like, hello, we have got all the key ingredients here. Our protein shake, and then this little guy as well. So when we've got low vitamin C is crucial to your immune system. It's an antimicrobial. So it's, it's key, one of its key functions, it's one of the key, along with zinc, one of the key vitamins in this case. And the problem is with vitamin C is we don't store it in our body. We wear it out every single day. You've got to keep replenishing your levels. And if we don't have good vitamin C, it brings on scurvy in a real low sense. But I guess there's a lot of our society that has levels of scurvy. Scurvy is just the generic term for meaning that you're vitamin C deficient. So, even things like, where's my little notes here, but it's so interesting, vitamin C as well. I haven't looked at that in detail in ages. But vitamin C makes you low levels make you absolutely more susceptible to pneumonia. Absolutely more susceptible to pneumonia. Infections increase the need for vitamin C. So when your body's fighting infection, your body needs a huge amount of vitamin C. And I just said we don't store it. We've got to eat it daily. We weed it out after a certain amount of time. So it's more cyclical. We need about 200 milligrams of vitamin C a day. Now, I haven't gone into big detail, actually, but I know that we've got vitamin C in our protein powder. They won't tell us the amounts of this because, remember, they just don't quote the amounts of vitamins and minerals in our greens powder because every scoop can vary a little bit, because it literally is just crushed veggies. It's not like this where they're actually calculating the amounts of vitamins and minerals in. But, things like some of our greatest suppliers of vitamin C are green leafy vegetables, broccoli, chilies, jalapenos, almonds, what else have I missed? There was another big one somewhere. But anyway, that is all in here, okay? So we don't have amounts in there, but this is all of our green leafies, the spirulina, the kale, all of those types of things. So this is absolutely amazing for vitamin C. And as I said, we've got amounts of it in our protein powder as well. Capsicum is another one. Sauerkraut is another one. So, and it's really, really interesting as well that when you go to your supermarket and buy vitamin C tablets, that is actually ascorbic acid and normally cornstarch, okay? And the problem with it is, it's normally cornstarch and sulfuric acid, okay? So all we want that vitamin C in that really acidic environment to work really well. That's the thing with the sulfuric acid. But how much better to get that from our veggies and fruits and crushed veggies that we have. So, you've got to be really careful with synthetics. There's no substitute for whole foods. Absolutely. So, and vitamin C is quite easy to get. It's just people don't eat all of those in their diet. So we have an amazing products to give us that. The other thing is, other than vitamin C, is it stimulates our white blood cell count. So white blood cells are the good guys that go around trying to gobble up all the bad guys, okay? So we want vitamin C to support them. The other thing is vitamin D. Now, vitamin D is from sunshine, okay? So you can get, again, artificial forms of vitamin D, but there is no substitute for sun. So, again, like, get out, tell your people to go out in that courtyard and sit in the sun for a little while. Like, it's the one time in your life it's okay to sunbake. You want to get some vitamin D. So vitamin D supports our cells. It protects against pathogens. Like, it actually kills microbes. It is just so powerful. Again, I talked before about, they're saying about hang your clothes. If you can't wash certain things, but hang them in the sun for a while. Vitamin A is another really important one. It provides the structural integrity of your muscles, sinuses, and respiratory centers. So it's the building blocks for your mucus, your sinuses, and your respiratory centers. So again, vitamin A, you'll find that in most of our products. So this is going to keep your defense system. Remember, we talked about at the beginning about your mucuses and sinuses and all of that being one of the first defenses. We have got plenty of vitamin A in our products. Zinc. Now, I know the video me talked about zinc quite a lot, but this is second to none. It's actually a trace mineral because we only need tiny amounts of it. And look, it can vary. Some people will say for women we need about 8 micrograms, and if you're really unwell or got deficiencies, you can go up to 30. So this guy here, I think it's about 10 that provides us.
Britt?
Yeah?
Can you OD?
10.
Can you OD on zinc? Can you have too much of it?
Good question. I was looking at that before and I didn't go on to read the answer. There is safe levels. I wouldn't be going above 30. I don't know about the toxicity level of it. There probably would be. It's a hard metal, so there probably is. I can Google that later on. I just can't remember. I do know there's a limit and you shouldn't go too high. So, one scoop, that's only got 10 milligrams in it. If you're deficient, which a large portion of the population are, by the time you have one scoop of that, there's no harm in having our products together. You're not going to go 30 milligrams, micrograms, sorry. So you're good. But yes, there would be a toxicity level with zinc. You'd have to eat shitloads though. And as I just said, zinc is, a lot of the population are zinc deficient because, as we say in Arbonne, our vitamin, our soils are depleted. Our fruit and veg aren't what they once were, and just such a large of the population, like I find it so hard to believe because I live on vegetables and you guys probably do too, but such a large amount of our population don't, might have some lettuce in their burger at night and that is it. Do you know what I mean? So vitamin zinc, just while we're here, is actually awesome for acne, it's awesome for psoriasis, it's awesome for stretch marks, it's awesome for hair, nail, and skin growth. It's great for sunburn or repairing sunburn. It's great for wound healing. So that's an interesting one. It's showing links to improving arthritis, and it's fantastic for inflammatory conditions. And again, a virus will bring on inflammatory conditions. So just again, don't want to go into too much. Yeah, so look, the most important thing is it actually increases the T cells in your body, and they're like the army in your bloodstream, okay, and they go around basically pursuing and attacking viruses or pathogens or bacteria or toxins. So zinc, so again, vitamin C, plenty of it in our stuff. Vitamin D, there's bits of it in our stuff, but great to get in the sun as well and to spread that positivity and that love to the world and get people to go out and stare at the clouds for 5 minutes and find shapes or look up through the leaves. Or I think Ali put an awesome little meditation thing in our 30 Days to Healthy Living group that she's running at the moment. Like, really encourage people and be a beacon of positivity for them. Zinc is massive. And then there's some other little things like garlic is amazing. So, and we all know that. So a virus can't do anything to you unless it invades that cell wall. So, and turns your, basically it gets into your DNA and turns it into a copying machine. We also need to keep our amino acids and our amino acids and our fatty acids up. And again, Arbonne provides all of that. But I think the biggest things to walk away with what we've got going on at the moment is that our products contain, what is it, 1, 2, 3 of the 4 key nutrients that we need to combat. And that's not, you know, aside from the gut flora and everything else. So it's absolutely amazing. I didn't want to go into too much detail because it can get a little bit technical, and I was kind of like, yeah, a bit rushed towards the end. But I just want you to know with absolute faith that, you know, you are feeding your, actually feeding your clients with the very best, okay? And giving them everything that they need in these current circumstances. And again, just giving that little bit of information to them and really promoting that. And that kind of brings me on to my final little topic is, you know, with the current climate, what is happening and how are we going to go? And, you know, are people still spending? And I think Sarah's already touched on that, but I just wanted to bring it home with a few stats and a few little interesting things that hopefully will reassure you, as Sarah said, that, you know, sensitively, but we really are in the very best place at the very best time, always with Arbonne, but almost extra specially so now. So, few stats here, which are kind of really fun, but in Australia, 12.1 million people are on social media. Now, I couldn't get the very latest stats because to get really good stats on anything, you have to pay money to be part of. There you go. Someone's got an online business looking at stats all day and we can buy those stats off them. So I avoided the $80 and just went with last year's stats. But 12.1 million people are on social media. Like, that is massive. Okay, so most people, you know, I guess, are on social media, same as me. In 2013, Australia spent, so this is, I know it's a long time ago, 27 billion in buying things online. In 2017, that went up to 33 billion. And they projected last year that in 2021, they actually expected a 15% growth this year on last year. Sorry, they're expecting, forward thinking, in 2021, they're expecting that to escalate to 15% growth. So that would be $35 billion running through online spending. Like, that is huge. Australia is becoming an absolute e-commerce powerhouse. Okay, so behind China and the UK and the USA, Australia are right up there with the population that buys most online. They're in the top 10, okay? So it really is, online shopping is becoming a powerhouse, and to grow exponentially by 15% is absolutely incredible. So there is lots of people out there buying lots of shit online. Okay, so that's reassuring for us to know. In 2017, so again, sorry, the stats aren't any newer than this, but you have to pay for them. Online shopping increased by 10%, but foot traffic in stores only grew by 3%. So what that's saying is buying online went up 7% more than people walking into shops. And that was old data, really, 2017. So we're now in the cusp of 2020. Imagine what those stats are now. So I know myself, I probably buy heaps more today than I did in 2017. And to be honest with you, sometimes I get annoyed going to the shops, like way before all this happened. It's like, oh my God, I really can't be bothered going to Carousel. I don't want to go into the city. I don't want to pay for the parking and then walk all the way into the shops. And I really can't be asked, oh, look, there's one online and I'll buy it. And that way I can price check as well and make sure I'm getting the best price. Even major retailers over the last 2 years that are failing to perform better than many online businesses. So I believe, was it Danielle mentioned about, well, we all kind of heard about Colette going under the you know, the earring and cosmetic jewelry. We know that Myers just had its second, well, it's probably going to go into a third quarter of negative growth now. So, but even major players like, you know, I don't know, it was only, I remember like just 2 or 3 years ago trying to buy something online from Target or Big W and going, oh my God, I can't believe that they don't have an online store. But all of those stores now have online elements. And I even know, actually, I think Maddie, who couldn't be on here tonight, Belinda and Veronica's team, she is working tonight because she works for a retailer and is trying to get an online store up and running in case they, you know, go under. And I've actually got a couple of other friends that work in retail. Again, they're trying to get their online stores up and running for something such as this, because they know that that's what people are going to turn to. Like, can you imagine us, like Sarah mentioned before, you know, things aren't so bad now, we're very like rolling with it, but can you actually what it might be like, imagine what it might be like in 3 weeks time? We're in our 3rd week of lockdown and we can't go anywhere. Like, what are we going to be doing? Yeah, unless we've got really good plans to educate ourselves or whatever, we're going to be online, and we're probably going to be doing a bit of shopping by then because we bloody just feel like we need a treat, you know, we need something. So that's really positive. Look, over the years, fashion has been an absolute leader, but the recent figures over the last 5 years of online shopping is fashion is nosediving a bit. So it's reduced, it had a big spike, and now that's actually going down and plateauing out, and all of these other retail products are now starting to really rise and shine. Now these are the really good stuff for us guys. 25% of online shopping is done on people's mobile phones. Impulse buying, if you have not got content on there and you are not talking about what's happening in Arbonne and putting it on there and saying, I'm going to talk about people sitting there, and sometimes they're going to make a decision to buy right then and there. 25% of people buy it not on their laptop, not on their desktop. 25% people, and this was a year ago, the stats were, are buying on their phone. Can you imagine what's happened to those stats over the last year? And can you imagine what's happened to those stats over the last 3 months, 2 months, 1 month? So if you are not, you have not got stuff on your phone and you are not talking about Arbonne, you are missing opportunities, because people are buying on their phone more than they ever were before, and that trend is on the rise. So people are buying, but they're buying, quarter of their purchases are on their phones now, and that was old stats, so I imagine that's more. 50% of Australians shop on their mobile and purchase at least once a week. So half of all the people who are shopping on their mobiles buy something every single week. Who are they buying from? Are they buying from Sephora, or are they buying for us because we've been telling them how good our goddamn mascara is? Or are we zipping it and not using product placement? And in this, want to be very, very careful as well. Like I always, you know, if you watch my Insta or whatever, I'm very careful to do a good bunch of social media frames before I'll do an Arbonne one. You know, my minimum is 1 to 6. So I'll do 6 about my life, or 6 memes or whatever it is, and then 1 Arbonne one. So we definitely don't want to lose that, and we don't want people to stop watching us because we're boring and we're just promoting Arbonne. But you've got to have it in there, because as I said, 50% of people are shopping once a week and they're buying stuff online. So that is an absolutely amazing opportunity. Now, this is a really interesting one too. 60% of shoppers will abandon their cart if the shipping is too expensive. 60% of people that go onto and I know I'm guilty of this, I'll put something in and I'll go, oh, what's the shipping? Oh, no, I'm not going to get that. That's too much. So we need to make sure that all of our preferred clients and all of our clients know that if they've got that preferred client amount where they get free shipping, we've got to be telling people and reminding people of that. Because you know what? They might go in and put 3 boxes of goods and go, I'm not paying $10 for that. But when they get a free item and then they get the free shipping, they're like, yes, I'll have it. 60% of people abandon their carts because of the shipping costs. That's huge, right? Like, that's a lot of putting stuff in your cart and not going through. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And it also doesn't hurt. Look, it's obviously a lot harder now, but always doing those call outs. Hey guys, I'm putting an order in, and just being willing to, deliver or have people come around and collect things. So obviously, again, at the moment, that's a real clincher for us, because I'm not going to my gyms where I normally deliver my stuff. And it's up to you what you do with that. It's probably not the best thing at the moment, because you might have all their deliveries sitting at your house and we're going to lockdown and we can't deliver it. But just keep that in mind when we're up and running again. I've already talked about us being in the top 10. Okay, here's another one. Aussie shoppers who are buying online make 29% of their purchases between 7 and 10 p.m. Okay, so 29% of Aussie shoppers, so the people that are going to shop that day, they're making their purchases between 7 and 10 p.m. 18% of them purchase between 2 and 5. Now, I don't think that's it's a bit of a no-brainer. Most of us are busy in the mornings and then sit down. So between 2 and 5, and then 7 and 10. And you know what? Between 5 and 7, we're normally at the gym, or we're going for a walk, or we're getting dinner ready, or we're doing dishes, or we're getting our kids to bed. But it just goes to show, again, like, if you're going to put content, make sure you've got it on there before 2 o'clock, because most people are buying between 2 and 5, and then more are buying between 7 and 10. So, it probably is a bit late if you're sitting down and putting your content on there at 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so interesting to see where all that sits. Look, I've looked at a lot of articles today, and as I said, it was a little bit disappointing that I couldn't get, especially the timeline. I honestly could have been on here all day just trying to source it, and the most reliable sources, as I said, I do have to pay quite a lot of money for, $80 a month or something. But all of them said, even last year, the reports I found last year is the future looks bright and prosperous for online business owners. There's so many business articles out there saying, like, that are obviously aimed at people running businesses and saying you've got to get your business up and running online. That is 100% where it is. And then Dania went through her stats with us the other day, and I did go to her source and have another look at it, just saying, even from February to March this year, internet shopping has absolutely been on the rise. So, and we've had coronavirus in our lives for most of March. Okay, so people are still shopping. People now more than ever, they're getting frustrated. I mean, I don't even want to go near the shops. I'm so friggin' overgoing. I'm absolutely looking to buy online, except for my fresh fruit and vegetables. I just don't even want to go near the shops. And I guess you two guys are feeling the same. And again, at any point now, we could go into lockdown, and then people are going to be sitting on their phones, scrolling, looking for stuff to do, going, oh, we're out of hand wash and we're out of shampoo. And it is really important now that we're really just putting those seeds into people, like, this is what we've got. This is what we sell. If you need us, we're here. So even though we've got the amazing promotions on at the moment, don't be shy to take a picture of you washing your hands with our hand wash, or a picture of your shampoo bottles in your shower. Like, you need to be just sending subliminal messages and reminding people what we sell, because we sometimes assume that our clients know what we sell, and we assume that they know what we know, and we assume that they know about the specials. But if we're not putting it on there, I mean, I've done it before and thought, oh, how could you not know that we have, if you get one more item, you get free shipping, a free gift, and you're a preferred client. But that's just because it's our everyday, it's not everybody else's. So look, I just think looking through those stats for internet selling, and there was like tons more, but I just tried to keep it. Just remember, people are looking online, people are shopping, they're impulse buying or shopping on their phone. They're not even getting up and going to their desktops and anything unless they want a particularly great view. They're sitting in there at their lounges, in the advert breaks, scrolling through their phone until, I don't know, Married with how many brides, whatever it's called, how many brides, comes back on, they literally are sitting there scrolling, and it could be at that moment they go, oh yeah, you know what? She said something about that protein powder today. I'm going to look at it and get it. So you've, as I said, you've just got to keep spreading the love. Sarah went into that a lot. People are looking for beacons in their life at the moment, but they're also looking for their immunity to be up. They're looking for knowledge. They're looking for power. And there's nothing that I said tonight about the viruses and stuff that, you know, you guys can write down vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, and zinc, and do your own research on them. It really is important that you're helping people and offering solutions, because people are scared, they are worried, they are nervous, and they are looking for someone to offer some solutions. And you don't have to be a nutritionist or an expert to give that. You can take screenshots of things and put it on. So look, again, just want to encourage you, this is a great time to be offering people true assistance, true health and wealth with our business. And there's nothing more that people want in their lives than health, wealth and happiness, really. So yep, that's it from me.
Awesome. Thank you, Brett. That was amazing. So much information. Oh my God, I can tell you just love your nutrition. You're getting right into that. But that is fantastic. There's so much information there. And yeah, that's the only other thing that I would just say, guys, is just with the business as well. If you're reaching out, reach out with love. You know, some people, you know, are losing jobs or losing shifts or whatever it may be. I know a lot of people that are finishing up with their roles, and, you know, give it a couple of days, but be like, you know, do you want to look at the opportunity? You know, can I interest you? Do you want me to send you some information? It may or may not be for you, the same sort of thing, but I think a lot of people will be thinking, shit, okay, that Arbonne thing that I didn't think was a real job. Well, guess what? Maybe I should look at that Arbonne thing because the real job didn't work out so well. So yeah, just that's pretty much it. I'm mindful of your time, so I'm going to let you all go, but thanks for tuning in. And Amy, thank you for coming and joining us on your birthday. We appreciate that. You know, I know that you're with the fam bam and everything, so I'll let you guys all go. Thanks, Brett, you were absolutely amazing. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon if you've got questions. Oh, hang on, let me do a boomy with everyone's cameras on. Can you all put your cameras on for a second?
Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh, my Siri's just trying to talk to me. Hang on.
Go away,
She's
Siri.
like, hello. You said that 30-minute little call thing where we all work together.
Oh,
when is that on tomorrow? When is
that is
that
on tomorrow.
happening? Do we know?
It does start tomorrow, and it will be either at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. I will put a post up. I'm just waiting for the other keys. We're just trying to confirm the time. Because yeah,
that'll be cool. I like the sound of that. I said that'll be cool.
Yeah, it will be really, really awesome. I think we're just thinking for people that are got homeschooling kids, if we're doing like a half-hour workout video, we want people to be on, and then a half-hour Zoom. Like if you've got time, an hour back to back can be quite difficult to make them go away. So anyway, we're just trying to figure out what's going to be the best way to do that. But yay, look, you've all got your look at you all with your. Okay, I'm going to do a boomy. Everyone smile. Ready? Do something. I don't know, like woo. Okay, ready? 3, 2, go. All right, no pressure now. I have to tag you all, right? Beautiful. Awesome there. That was great. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you've got any questions, shoot them across to us. But just remember, if you do start to feel like, you know, like you're slipping, personal development, reach out to us. We are here to pour belief into you. You've got this. Share the business, share the products. We have everything that everyone needs right now. So just be so strong in your belief. All right, guys, I will talk to you all later. See ya.